someone brought this up in the comments because sometimes when I do certain interviews, I say, what should I ask so-and-so in our next interview? Someone asked, how many women have you been with?
I've been around a long time. I won't put a number on it. I don't want to be like, what's the basketball player? Will Chamberlain.
Will Chamberlain.
Yeah, I would just say that I was slutty. I have to admit, I was slutty. I was a little hoe.
Okay.
You know, I ain't gonna lie. I was a slutty. Whatever that number means, I don't know. But I was a little slutty, and that's how come at my age, I'm disciplined. And I like to tell people my age because women will say in interviews, "Oh, he got erectile dysfunction. His dick don't work." I'm hitting them with the camera. Hey hoes, my dick work. I took care of myself. I'm 64. The dick works, and I take pride in that. I really do.
Yeah.
And every now and then I go on a roll. Usually between September and January, that's my whole season.
Have you ever been in a long-term committed relationship?
Yeah, I think the longest has been 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's reasonable amount of time.
It's reasonable. Yeah, 5 years. I've done it twice in my lifetime.
Just twice?
Just twice.
Did you ever want to marry any of the women?
I think any woman I meet that day, I want to get married. Because what happens the next day that changes my fucking mind?
Bust that nut.
Yeah, we'll either bust that nut or you say something irritating. I'm so into what a woman says that if you really saying some stupid shit, it can really irritate me. One time I had a woman over my house and she sat in my couch, Vlad, and she put a foot in my couch. I'm looking at her like, bitch, who the fuck raised you? You don't put your foot in someone's couch, because all my stuff is white. She didn't have the shoes on.
Oh.
But this is our first date. You that comfortable that you take your shoes off and you put your foot in a man's, on his couch? Nah. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. I got a white dining room set. I'm standing in the kitchen, girl comes as she's approaching me. She got a hand on my fucking white chair, but then she puts her knee in the chair where you sit, your ass goes on. All I'm saying is,
that was it. Huh?
If I go over someone's house, I'm not walking all around, not doing that. I'm gonna sit. If I need something, I'm gonna ask, can you get it from me out of the refrigerator? I'm not going walk here. I'm not walking there because this is my first time in your home. And two, I don't go to women's houses. I don't think I've been to a woman's house in over 20, 30 years.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, we talked about this. The most violent moment of my life was me spending the night at a woman's house.
Yep.
And
okay,
her
they doing that.
crazy ex-boyfriend jumps in through the window. Yeah.
And I want men to stop moving in
get a
with
hotel.
women. Yeah, and you know, I want men to stop moving in with women because you know what they don't think about? You might be sleeping on the same side her ex was sleeping on. In the mattress.
Yeah, listen, I'd heard, I don't know whether this is true. I don't know if this is totally true, but I've heard from a couple of people. Because remember, there's that whole situation with Trouble?
Yes.
From Atlanta. He took that girl home, and then her ex-boyfriend shows up and ends up killing him.
Yeah.
Notice how you don't hear a lot about that case recently.
Yeah, what happened?
What I heard is that although they were somewhat broken up, he was still living there at one point, and it was like less than 30 days or something of that sort. So technically that was his home. So they're saying that the shooting might end up being self-defense because now there's a person in his home that he did not approve of. And once the details come out.
That's a clever ass attorney.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with that is a clever, because I knew that young man.
Oh, you met him before?
Yeah, yep.
Trouble, you mean, yeah.
Yeah, I got a picture of us hanging together.
Yeah, man, he was a mainstay in Atlanta. I mean, he was definitely a very known figure. But, you know, you go to another woman's house, and I'd heard that the boyfriend showed up and started beating up the girl or whatever, and then he tried to intervene, and then, you know, I don't know whose gun it was. It may have been Trouble's gun. It may have been that guy's gun. But ultimately,
that happened to me.
He may walk free.
Twice, Vlad. It happened to me like in the early 80s, late 80s. I'm in Newark, New Jersey. Got my cousins with me. They They Muslim, so they got a whole patrol squad. But this guy walked right by them. They didn't know what was going on. We was in an apartment building. I'm laying in bed with the girl. Dude opens the door. It's about heartbeats.
So a man walks in, and you're with his girl. What does he do?
He just starts tripping with her. He's actually putting his finger in her vagina to see if I nutted in her.
Oh.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow. And what were you doing when this was happening?
I'm looking like,
Are you naked during this time?
I think I was naked.
My situation, I was naked
This
also.
shit is crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
And all this stuff happened to me young, but it could have been the end. Could have been the end. So guys, if you can't take a girl to a hotel, and that's no guarantee, because I actually had a girl in the hotel once too, and this is before GPS and all this. This nigga found that girl. He must have went to every room, on every floor, because it was in New York, one of them fly-ass hotels.
Wow.
I was doing something with Atlantic
He
Records.
knocked on every door.
He had to.
That's crazy.
Because there was no GPS then. There was no way. He had to literally go to every room and listen. Wow. Women scare me, man.
Yeah. They scare all of us.
Yeah, women scare me.
They scare all of us. Yeah,
Yes.
man, listen. Unless you guys are now in a relationship and it's been some time, and so forth, yeah, man, start with the hotel.
Start with a hotel.
Start with a hotel.
I totally agree.
Get to know her.
Do not. I'm going to repeat. I'm sorry to scream. Do not go in no woman's house.
Yes. Not in the beginning.
Not in the beginning.
Yeah.
Not. Don't do it.
Even taking her to your house, I think, is a little sketchy.
Yeah, even taking the house is a little
Get a
sketchy.
hotel.
Because you see the stories now of women setting the guys up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
This shit's crazy
If you
out
can't
here.
afford to take a woman to a hotel, you should not be dating right now.
Listen. I agree.
You can't afford to date. There were times in my life I couldn't afford to date.
Yes.
And that's okay. That's okay.
That's
There's nothing wrong with
motivation.
that. That's motivating you to get more money so you could finally
you,
afford to actually have a
They
woman.
think because I said have
and
your
take
money
care
together.
of the bills or whatever
Yes.
expenses in your own way.
They think that when I talk this way, that I'm hating on young men who don't have money. I'm just giving
And
you
it's
the
not
game.
tricking.
It's not tricking.
Yeah.
You just, there's certain things that you deserve. How about that? You deserve a nice hotel room. You deserve to play the part of really being and having your situation together. And don't get me wrong, you was poor. I was poor.
Yeah.
We was poor. We're not saying that we better than you, because we actually live like that.
Not at all.
From our experiences, we're sharing with you what not to do. We're telling you what to do. And it's a better feeling.
Listen, I remember when I first moved to New York where first I was sleeping on couches, then I was finally able to get my own place, but I couldn't afford a bed at the time.
Yes.
So I was sleeping on an inflatable bed, and I remember taking a woman home and having sex with her on the inflatable bed, and it was embarrassing. I was embarrassed. And in fact, I think she spent the night, we woke up and it deflated. So we woke up on the hard floor. It was embarrassing. I remember she talked bad about me to some of my friends who
Right.
hooked us up afterwards. It's embarrassing.
And I don't know if they have the hotels. I'm much older than you, but they used to have hotels you could pay for an hour.
Yeah.
And you had to leave.
Yep.
And I used to go, it's in
It's
Jersey.
called the short stay.
Yeah, it used to be these hotels on Tunnelly Avenue in Jersey City. And I remember I used to bring women there, pay $75, had my mother's car, go in there and do my work. Now the girls are sleeping. Bitch, we gotta go. I gotta take this car back and I gotta drive
It's
you
been
off.
2 hours.
Right, the $75 is up. But I don't know if they have that anymore. But gentlemen, if you can, get your money first. You will have a better experience.
Mm-hmm.
And get a credit card.
Yeah.
Because they don't, cash, you're not seeing too much cash lately. Because you stay at hotels like I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to really tip. I mean, well, it's not for us. We'll go to the bank and make sure we have some money on us so that we could tip. But you're not seeing currency as much as we used to.
Yeah.